Hey, how's it going today? Today I want to show you about sharing some tool sets and other really cool things you can do sharing wise in Bluebeam. Let's check it out. The first thing I want to talk about is sharing tool sets. Tool sets are different ways to store tools, and they're all gathered together in your tool chest. There's really two ways to go about sharing stuff in Bluebeam. One is by sending someone a file. Now if I go under Manage Tool Sets, I can export out one. Say I want to send this plumbing issues one to someone else. I can export this out to my desktop as a BX file. Then I can email it to someone and they can import that same file in. So now I've brought in that exact same tool set. So I can edit this as much as I want. Now, a much more sophisticated way to share a tool set is to, instead of exporting it out to your C drive and sending it through an email, you could actually save it to a server, and then you can come in here and click on the Add button, click on Existing, and now when I add this tool set in, it's actually linked to a server. Here's the one that I just imported. It's like a static tool set, and here is the one that I've brought in linked. Now this tool set has a little lock button on it, which basically means that this is living on a server somewhere. If I click the unlock, I'm essentially checking out this tool set. I can make some changes to it. Now when I check it back in, anyone else who is also linked to this tool set will see that change. So this can be really, really powerful when you want to share your tools. You make a change, someone else has the same tool set linked in, it will also change for them as well. You can do the exact same thing with line types as well. If I click on this line that I've made, there are different line styles built in. Under the Manage option, you can go in here. I can actually import someone else's line style set, LX file, or I can actually link to one on a server. So I'm going to go here to Bluebeam Styles. Now I'm linking to one on a server. You can see there's a path to it. If I go in and I modify this, anyone else who's linking to this shared line style will see those changes. Likewise, they can make changes and those will reflect on my line styles. You can do the exact same thing with hatches. Under the hatch toolbar, I've actually brought in a bunch of hatches I exported from AutoCAD. Now I can link to a hatch style set right here, a BHX file, and then I can go in and make changes, or I can just use what's shared on the server somewhere. The different setup is you can do something similar, a little bit different with the stamps. So all sorts of stamps you can use. You can see I have a stamp set right here. You can have a shared folder for your stamp. So I'll change my stamp folder. And now any stamp that's saved in that folder, I will be able to pull in. So if someone else changes on the server, that will reflect in my stamp set available. Now, these are a lot of different things we can link. If we're bringing in multiple different tool sets, it can be tedious to get that set up and changed. So is there a way we can link all of these things together? And the answer is yes, with profiles. Profiles are different ways to view your workspace. If I click on the review profile, you can see I have a certain number of tool chests built in. Recent tools, architecture review, contractor review, engineering review. I have these particular tools built in on the right side. If I change to a different tool set, review advanced, now I have all sorts of tools built in at the top that weren't there before. Let me try one more here just to show you how different they can get. Field issues. Now I have carpentry issues, electrical issues, flooring issues, lighting issues. Again, some things have changed in my work view. Those are gone on the side, and now those are back on the right again. Things can be linked together. So I've actually created one for my group. I'll show you the tool sets that I've built in. You can see I have 5 different tool sets that are all linked. So if anyone opens up this profile, they will already have these linked in. Similarly, these line styles are saved in here. The hatches are already linked. So now we have a couple things that are being linked with one profile. One other thing I didn't talk about are these extra little columns that were built in. Now, markup lists can have multiple different kinds of columns. Under the Manage Column set, you can create in custom columns. You see this little note right here, Save to Profile. So you can make custom columns, then you can save them to your profile, and anyone can just bring them in exactly the same way. Really powerful tool. The last thing I want to show you is not something I would necessarily recommend. You can actually have the profile itself linked to a server. I can go in and click on a location. I can actually have this profile added in. And when you open up a profile, basically what you're doing is you're copying a profile from a server, from an email into this particular location. It's under App Data, Roaming, Bluebeam Software. Now everything that you bring in to Bluebeam that's not living on a server is going to be built in here. You can see I have 4 hatch pattern sets. You can see I have 2 different line style sets. You can see I have about 10 different profiles in here and multiple tool sets. Now, the one that I'm showing you right now is this Pbot Bluebeam profile. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm pulling it off a server, pulling it off an email, saving it to my local C drive. This location is where Bluebeam is looking for those profiles. Now, if I change this where it's looking, I could edit it, and that would actually be a real-time change for everyone who's using that same profile. The problem with doing that is that I like to keep my markup list on the right. Most people prefer on the bottom. If I make this change, I save my profile, now it moves for everyone. If I decide to turn on particular columns, it's going to change for everyone. So I think the idea of exporting out a profile, having people load it onto their C drive, and then using it is the best of both worlds. If everyone starts with the same profile and then it's shared on their C drive, they can adjust it, they can customize it as they want to. It gives everyone a shared starting point. All right, I hope this helped you. Good luck with sharing your tool sets and profiles and line styles. Thanks so much. Have a great day.